Hello there virtual racers, this is Jason for Pitlanes Sim Racing and welcome to today's video. We are jumping back into Automobilista 2 and we are going to be checking out the mighty Mini. We're going to be rolling the clock right back to the 60s, right back to the start of touring cars, and we're going to be checking out how much fun we can have in these little minis around Brands Hatch Indy. So come and join me after the intro and let's go racing. Hello all you retro racers, you join me today in Automobilista 2 at the back of the grid at Brands Hatch Indy, and we are going old school, and I mean proper old school today. We are back in the 60s, yeah baby, and we're going to drive one of the grandfathers of touring cars, the classic Mini. And this is the Austin Cooper Mini from the 1960s, which is now in fact 60 years old. So let's see what this is all about, shall we? Well, it's got the standard touring car setup. So we've got front wheel drive, engine at the front. Now we don't really get much in the way of torque steer because we've only got 100 brake horsepower, but we do get power understeer, and we do get a rather enthusiastic rear end. As you can see from the cars in front, this is a very small wheelbase. We've got a wheel in each corner, so there's no real overhang. So when the car does slide, you don't get that pendulum effect because there's no weight over the wheels. Well, beyond the wheel, should I say. But we have only got skinniest of tyres that will understeer as soon as you look at them. So what you have to do is be a bit brutal and chuck the car in and induce some throttle lift off oversteer, and that rotates the car, tucks the front in, and that's how you can corner at much higher speeds. But the craziest thing about all of this, apart from the fact that it doubles up as a lawnmower, is that this obscure little British car from the 60s has been faithfully modelled in virtual form by the Reiza Studios team for Automobilista 2. The game that has more unique content than you can throw a stick at. You just keep stumbling across these little gems that you just can't find in any other modern racing title. So here I am in a game developed by a Brazilian development studio, racing around Brands Hatch Indy in a Mini. It almost doesn't get any more British than this, does it? And what a job they have done. Like I say, we've only got 100 brake horsepower, we've got skinny looking little tyres, but this must be the most chuckable car. Let's come up with a new term for it. Chuckability. There we go. That's a new sim racing term. But there's literally no limit. There's just, at no point can you not seem to be able to recover this car. With the use of either throttle, brake, or copious amounts of steering input. So, you know, I was playing around for a while, and I thought, right, let's go and have a little look, watch some videos of these. Not easy to find too much about these, but I managed to find some clips with a little bit of onboard here and there, and the drivers are constantly working at the wheel to hustle these things around a corner. You know, they're trying to induce some form of oversteer, really, and they do that by unsettling the car, and then it's just a point of just keeping the back end in check with lots of steering input. Oh. And you're just constantly dancing the car on the edge. And that pretty much translates into what we get in AMS2. Because remember, we've got no ABS, no traction control. We don't have a flappy paddle gear change. We've got a rather rustic 4-speed H pattern. I think in its day it probably would have been on cross-ply tyres, you know, which by their very design and nature have... Yeah. There you go. Now come on. Any other car, you'd have never have got that back. Anyway, the tyres, they've got a high sidewall and they're quite soft. So the tyres themselves have got a lot of slip and a lot of angle on them. So the car's already moving about on the rubber before you even bring in, you know, the rudimentary suspension technology. But these things must be, and in fact still are, because in the UK there's little national championships and they still run minis of all ages, of all designs. These must be fantastic to battle with in a pack in real life. Yeah, you don't want to go to a big circuit with long straights because they're just going to run out of puff. These things were built for chucking about little small circuits, close racing, door rubbing. But, you know, these come from an era back when, you know, they went racing to sell a car. Yeah, they just, well, I say they bolted in a few safety devices, you know. Tin helmet and a roll bar, and that was about it. But they would produce epic racing on a Sunday, and people would be down to the showroom on a Monday, and they'd want one of those minis that they'd just seen sideways round Druids at Brands Hatch the day before, you know. And you can see how effective it must have been for the manufacturers. And this just kicked the ball off for touring cars, and we are where we are today. We've been through the super touring, and now we're on to the TCR spec cars. Thankfully, nothing has changed in the way of, you know, close racing. They're still banging doors. You still never really know who's going to win a race, especially in the BTCC. Technology moves on, but the racing stays just as brilliant. But these little cars, they're part of the 60s touring cars. There's I think there's a Lotus that you can race with it. Personally, I couldn't get on with the Lotus. It didn't give me the same feel. I couldn't get it to set up and be as much fun as these. So I decided that we would recreate a little mini cup series and just race identical machinery, because this is one of the most enjoyable cars I've raced in any sim racing title for quite a while, you know. I know we've got the Super Tourers that I've just done some videos about in AC, and they are just a technical masterclass in modding content. But from a fun point of view, when I crank open and fire up the old smilometer, these things are right up there. You can, right, let me know in the comments. Fire up AMS2, find these little minis, race them. And if you didn't at some point smile, laugh, or give a little bit of a shout out or a whoop at any point in time, I want to know about it, because I don't think anybody can not be impressed with these little mighty minis. Little car, big fun. Right, hope you enjoyed my little review of these classic 60s minis in AMS2. It's just a little bit of fun, really. I found them, I enjoyed them, and I wanted to share that enjoyment. As always, really appreciate a like and a sub, a share, you know, all the YouTubery things. It allows me to, you know, share my passion for sim racing with as many other fellow racers. So in the meantime, this has been Jason for Pitlanes Sim Racing. We'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, race hard, race fair. Bye bye.